a cup of rice washing water, a bottle of milk, 1 week. That is the entire recipe. By the end of those 7 days, you will have a liquid so packed with beneficial microorganisms that a single tablespoon poured into a gallon of water can transform your soil biology, accelerate any compost pile to finish twice as fast, eliminate pet odors permanently from a yard, prevent the most common fungal diseases on plants, suppress harmful bacteria in the root zone, and unlock minerals that have been chemically locked in your garden soil for decades. The cost is essentially zero, because the rice water is what you normally throw down the drain and the milk is what you already have in your refrigerator. The science behind it is rigorous enough that universities across South Korea, the United States, and Hawaii have spent the last 20 years validating what one Korean master farmer figured out in the 1960s. He took the same microorganisms humans use to make yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, and every other fermented food in the history of civilization, and he applied them to soil. What happened next quietly created the foundation of modern Korean natural farming and turned a South Korean farmer named Cho Han-Kyu into one of the most internationally awarded agricultural figures of the last 50 years. His teachings now reach farmers in over 20 countries. His simplest recipe sits inside almost every kitchen on Earth, waiting for somebody to finish reading the instructions. But before I show you the exact 7-day process that turns rice washing water and milk into the single most powerful biological amendment you can produce at home, you need to understand why this method is the natural next step after the Korean bucket technique that has already gotten so many of you started on this channel. If you watched my earlier video on the Korean fermented input system that doubles plant growth every 48 hours, this is the same agricultural tradition, the same master farmer, the same biological principle. But where the bucket method gives you a slow-release soil amendment, this method gives you a liquid concentrate so versatile that practitioners across the world now keep it in jars on their shelves the way other people keep vitamins. Stay with me, because what you learn in the next 18 minutes will sit in your refrigerator for the rest of your life. The story starts on a small farm in South Korea in the early 1960s. A young farmer named Cho Han-Kyu was working with the same crops his neighbors were growing, using the same imported synthetic fertilizers, watching the same crops decline in flavor, nutrient density, and resistance to disease year after year. He understood something his neighbors did not. Korean farmers had practiced sophisticated fermented input agriculture for generations before chemical companies arrived. The methods were not lost. They were just buried under marketing campaigns from international fertilizer corporations who needed customers. So Cho went back to the traditional methods. He spent decades documenting, refining, and codifying what he learned. He taught his neighbors. He started a school. By the late 1970s, his agricultural methodology had a name: Korean natural farming. The principles he established are now taught in agricultural universities around the world. The Chinese government awarded him the Zhengzhou Friendship Award. The Korean Autonomous Prefecture of Yanbian named him an excellent foreign expert. South Korea gave him the Dosan Education Award. In 2008, he renamed his institute the Cho Han-Kyu Global Village Natural Farming Research Institute. In 2019, at over 80 years old, he traveled across the United States meeting students who had built their farms around his teachings. At the center of Cho's entire system sits one recipe. He calls it lactic acid bacteria serum. Most people who use it call it LABS, sometimes spelled out L-A-B-S, or simply lab. The serum is built around the same family of bacteria that ferment yogurt, that turn cabbage into kimchi and sauerkraut, that make sourdough bread rise, and that line the digestive tract of every healthy mammal on Earth. The scientific name for the group is Lactobacillus. There are dozens of species. They share one defining characteristic. They consume sugars and produce lactic acid as the metabolic byproduct. That lactic acid in concentrated form has a pH of approximately 2. That is acidic enough to sterilize, acidic enough to kill almost any harmful microorganism it touches, acidic enough to dissolve mineral compounds that ordinary soil chemistry cannot break apart. Here is the shareable detail that should change how you think about this technique forever. The same bacteria that turn fresh cabbage into kimchi over the course of 1 week in a sealed jar are the bacteria that build soil. The same bacteria that sit inside every spoonful of homemade yogurt are the bacteria that protect plant roots from disease. The Korean tradition of fermenting foods that goes back thousands of years, and the Korean tradition of fermenting soil inputs that Master Cho codified in the 1960s are using the exact same biology. The grandmothers in Seoul, who pack cabbage and salt into clay jars every autumn for their winter kimchi supply, are running the same microbial process you are about to run in a jar on your kitchen counter. The only difference is the ingredients and what you do with the final product. That continuity between food fermentation and soil fermentation is one of the great hidden insights of traditional Korean agriculture. The kitchen and the garden are not separate. They are the same biological system, run on the same beneficial microorganisms, distinguished only by what we feed them. Here is the part nobody talks about. Lactobacillus is the most studied beneficial microorganism in human nutrition. The global probiotic supplement industry is worth over $30 billion annually. Companies sell capsules, powders, drinks and yogurts loaded with the exact same bacteria you're about to grow in your kitchen for free. The probiotic industry uses laboratory-cultivated strains. The Korean natural farming method uses wild strains living naturally on rice grains. Both approaches culture the same family of organisms. The difference is that the probiotic industry charges $30 for a bottle of capsules, and the Korean farming method produces unlimited quantities for the cost of nothing. The bacteria do not care which path they take. They reproduce just as enthusiastically in a kitchen jar as they do in a pharmaceutical fermentation tank. Now stay with me, because the agricultural science behind why these bacteria transform soil is genuinely fascinating. When you pour lab serum onto your garden, 3 things happen simultaneously. First, the live lactobacillus colonies in the liquid begin reproducing in the soil, where they outcompete harmful pathogenic bacteria for resources. Second, the lactic acid in the serum has a pH so low that it chemically chelates minerals that were locked in soil particles. That word, chelate, means the lactic acid wraps around mineral ions like calcium, magnesium, iron, and trace elements and pulls them out of their chemical bonds with clay particles. The minerals become bioavailable. They move into solution. Plant roots can absorb them immediately. Third, the lactobacillus colonies improve soil structure by breaking down complex organic matter into simpler compounds and by improving the air movement through soil aggregates. This is why Cho's documentation explicitly states that lab serum improves soil ventilation. The bacteria are physically restructuring the soil environment as they work. The benefits to plants are documented across every category of crop the method has been tested on. Plants treated regularly with diluted lab serum show enhanced resistance to disease, faster vegetative growth, heavier flowering, and improved tolerance to heat and drought stress. The lactic acid produced by the bacteria, when absorbed in tiny amounts by plant tissue, actually adjusts the plant's internal pH and triggers natural defense pathways. This is the same biological mechanism that gives fermented foods their preservative power. Acid kills pathogens. Living beneficial bacteria outcompete harmful ones. The plant operates in a microbial environment where the good organisms always have the upper hand. So why is none of this taught in agricultural colleges in the United States or Europe? The answer is the same answer that explains every buried gardening technology. The synthetic fertilizer and pesticide industries are worth $260 billion combined. Every dollar of that revenue depends on farmers and home gardeners continuing to believe that soil biology is too complex, too uncertain, or too unscientific to manage on their own. A method that turns kitchen waste into a powerful biological amendment for free has no place in that economic model. Cho Han-Kyu's teachings have spread underground for 60 years, through farmer-to-farmer networks, through small organic certification programs, through permaculture gatherings, and through the small but growing community of Korean natural farming practitioners worldwide. The mainstream agricultural establishment has been quietly hostile to the entire framework, not because the science is wrong, but because the science cannot be sold. Now we get to the part you came here for, the exact 2-stage, 7-day recipe. Pay attention to the details, because lactic acid bacteria serum done correctly produces a clear yellowish liquid that smells mildly sweet and sour. Done incorrectly, it produces a rotting mess that smells like a sewer and has to be thrown away. The difference between the two is entirely in the small steps. Stage 1 is rice washing water. The next time you cook rice, do not pour the rinse water down the drain. When you wash uncooked white rice in a bowl with water, the water turns cloudy and milky. That cloudiness is starch, plant residue, and naturally occurring lactobacillus bacteria living on the surface of the rice grains. Pour off the first cloudy rinse and save approximately 1 to 2 cups of it. Use any variety of white rice. Brown rice can work, but is less reliable because the bran layer interferes slightly with the fermentation. Avoid rinsing pre-rinsed or parboiled rice, which has had most of the surface bacteria removed during processing. Pour your collected rice washing water into a clean glass jar. Fill the jar only about halfway, leaving room for the bacteria to breathe and for any gases to escape. Cover the mouth of the jar with a piece of paper towel or thin cloth secured with a rubber band. Do not seal the jar tightly. Lactobacillus needs limited air exchange in the early phase. Place the jar in a cool, dark place at room temperature, ideally between 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. A kitchen cabinet works, a pantry shelf works. Avoid direct sunlight, which kills the bacteria, and avoid temperatures above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which encourages the wrong organisms. Now you wait. After about 5 to 7 days, the rice washing water will develop a distinct sour smell, similar to the smell of plain yogurt or sauerkraut. It will separate into 3 visible layers. A light top layer of solids, a clear, slightly yellowish middle layer, a small sediment at the bottom. The middle layer is the rice water lactobacillus concentrate. This is the seed culture for your final serum. Stage 2 is multiplication with milk. The lactobacillus in your rice water concentrate is real, but the quantity is small. To produce a useful working amount of LAB serum, you multiply the bacteria by feeding them milk, which is essentially pure lactobacillus food. Take your strained rice water concentrate from stage 1. Measure it. Add 10 times that volume of milk. So, if you have 1 cup of rice water concentrate, add 10 cups of milk. The ideal ratio is 1 part rice water to 10 parts milk. Here is the critical detail that determines whether stage 2 succeeds or fails. The milk source matters enormously. Whole milk from cows raised without routine antibiotics produces the best results. Ultra-pasteurized milk processed at very high temperatures often kills enough of the milk proteins to slow the fermentation dramatically. Raw milk produces extraordinary results if you can source it legally in your region. Standard pasteurized whole milk from a grocery store works in most cases. Skim milk and low-fat milks produce weaker serum because the bacteria need the milk fats and proteins. If you can only source ultra-pasteurized milk, the recipe still works, but may take 2 to 3 additional days to complete. Pour the milk into a larger glass jar. Pour your rice water concentrate into the milk. Stir gently. Cover the jar loosely with paper and a rubber band again. Place it in the same cool, dark location at room temperature. Now you wait 2 to 7 days, depending on temperature. In warm weather, the fermentation completes in 2 to 3 days. In cooler conditions, it takes 5 to 7 days. The fermentation is complete when the milk has visibly separated into 3 distinct layers. A solid white curd on top, a clear yellowish liquid in the middle, a small amount of sediment at the bottom. The yellowish middle layer is your finished LAB serum. The serum should smell mildly sweet and sour, similar to yogurt or buttermilk. If it smells rotten or like garbage, the wrong bacteria colonize the jar. Throw it out and start over. Carefully separate the layers. The simplest method is to gently cut and scoop out the top curd layer with a clean spoon. Then pour the yellowish middle liquid through a piece of cheesecloth or a clean, fine kitchen strainer into another clean glass jar. The remaining curd can be eaten or composted. The sediment goes into the compost pile. The yellowish liquid you have just produced is your finished lab serum. To extend its shelf life, you can add an equal volume of unsulfured molasses or brown sugar dissolved in a small amount of warm water. The sugars feed the bacteria slowly over time and keep the serum alive for up to 6 months at room temperature. Without the sugars, the serum stays effective for about 1 month refrigerated. Application is where this method becomes universal. For garden soil, dilute the serum at 1 part serum to 1,000 parts water. That sounds extreme, but the bacterial population is so concentrated that a single tablespoon of serum mixed into a gallon of water is the correct application rate. Apply as a soil drench around the base of any plant once every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season. The bacteria spread through the soil and continue working long after the liquid is gone. For compost piles, dilute at 1 part serum to 50 parts water and pour over the pile when you turn it. The compost will heat up within hours and finish significantly faster than untreated piles. For pet odors in a yard, mix 1 tablespoon of serum into a gallon of water and pour onto the affected area. The lactobacillus colonies digest the urine compounds responsible for the smell. For houseplants, dilute at the same rate as garden plants and apply monthly. The serum strengthens root systems and prevents the soil-borne fungal problems that kill more houseplants than any other single cause. There is one more application worth flagging. Some practitioners use heavily diluted lab serum at 1 tablespoon per gallon as a foliar spray on the leaves of plants experiencing fungal disease pressure. The lactic acid creates a hostile environment for fungal spores on the leaf surface. The technique is genuinely effective on powdery mildew, downy mildew, early blight, and most common leaf diseases. Apply in early morning or evening and avoid direct sun exposure on wet leaves. There are a few honest cautions worth flagging. Lab serum is alive. Do not apply it within 24 hours of any synthetic pesticide or chemical fertilizer application because those products will kill the beneficial bacteria. Do not mix the serum with chlorinated tap water for application because chlorine kills lactobacillus. Use filtered water or let tap water sit out for 24 hours before mixing. The serum is slightly acidic. Avoid spraying directly on flower blossoms where it can damage delicate tissue, and use organic milk if you can source it, because antibiotic residues in conventional milk can slow or stop the fermentation entirely. The bacteria that make yogurt, the bacteria that make kimchi, the bacteria that line your gut, the bacteria that have lived on grains and in milk for as long as humans have eaten either, are the same bacteria that build healthy soil. Cho Han-Kyu understood this in the 1960s. The probiotic industry understood it in the 1980s when they started selling capsules. The agricultural establishment in the West is finally starting to understand it now, 60 years after a Korean farmer figured out the entire system in his own kitchen. The recipe sits in your refrigerator and in your rice canister. The biology is older than civilization. The transformation in your garden begins the moment you stop pouring rice water down the drain. The harvest begins now.